Going back on the weekend, I thought our guys played well, pitching and defense. We just never could get a timely hit, and that really did us in. We had many opportunities to get those timely hits and just didn't. So, we had to just keep grinding it out. South Al pitches very well. They play good defense. Again, we matched them defensively and pitching wise. Again, got to give credit to our freshman arms to be able to get in there and pitch without a little bit of run support. I mean, you look at Gunner. He gives up 3 earned runs in his last 2 starts, and he gets two L's over it. So I thought the pitchers did a good job of not getting spooked, not worried about the hitters not being able to get in a run or score runs to protect them and stay on their job. Our pitching philosophy is real simple. You give your team a chance to win. You don't worry about run production or run scored or how the hitters are hitting. That's not your job. That's not your worry. You worry about pitching. And I thought they did a great job. We had to go in this weekend, not walk people because they've got a ton of stolen bases. I thought we did an excellent job. All 3 freshman starters didn't walk a batter. Through the weekend, we played good defense. I think we gave up 2 stolen bases throughout the whole weekend, which is really good for us because they are a team that loves to run. So we did everything we had to do against a team that's going to pitch really well. Their pitchers are really good. They ran out some very good arms all weekend, played good defense against us. They never gave us anything. That's the name of the game. And then it's going to come down to who got timely hits. And they got a few more than us the first 2 days. We got one going away on Sunday. So now, we got some work to do, which no matter which way we'd go, we'd still have work to do. And this will be a game for us tomorrow night. Nichols is playing good. They've got a decent RPI, so that'll be good for us on the road. We still have the best RPI in our league right now, so we've got to fight to keep protecting that. And then we'll go. They're off today. Tomorrow we'll go down to Nichols. We'll leave Wednesday and work out at Monroe and play Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Monroe's kind of a unique team. They score some runs. They've got 35 home runs. So we're going to have to go down there and take care of Nichols first, and then, which is a team that pitches also. And the one thing Monroe does is they do also pitch. I think they're 3rd in the league in pitching, right behind us. Right now we're not swinging the bat real well. We've got to get some guys going, get some guys hot, hopefully at the bottom of our order, and help us out throughout this run. So open up the floor to questions you might have. Well, our top's been really good. It's really been our bottom. That's where some guys got to get going and get hot for us to have a run. We did play Bryn against a righty at third base. That's something we might do to keep a left-handed bat in. We had been pinch hitting him along the way to try to practice pinch hitting because we felt that somewhere along the way Bryn could help us as a pinch hitter, which he did. Keenan Fontenot, we've been working him out in left field, so you might see that before it's over. Who knows? But we need some help out of the bottom. We've dropped 4 slots in hitting in the conference right now, and our defense though has went the other way. We've climbed out from 9th place in defense all the way up to 5th, so that's really helped us, and I think that's been the biggest difference maker. So I think it is what it is. I think what we've got to do is try not to focus too much on the hitting and just make sure we keep pitching and playing defense, because I really believe those guys, they're older guys. I think they'll give us something before it's over. But if we stop pitching and we stop playing defense, then we won't have a chance. So we've just been so fortunate when you look across the line. South Alabama's got some very good arms, and yet we're right underneath them just in a few percentage points in ERA. But when you go across the board, we got more saves than anybody in the league, and we're doing that with a freshman closer. We lead the league in less amount of walks, less amount of hits given up, less amount of earned runs given up, less amount of walks given up. We lead the league. And that's not easy to do. As good as South Alabama's pitching, we lead the league. We're right behind South Alabama in striking out hitters. So again, a lot of credit to the freshmen for being able to go in there this weekend, man, and do what they did and sit there and after inning after inning after inning after inning after inning with chances to score, and we don't, and yet they didn't change the way they pitched. That's really a good sign. But now we got 3 road games, and these arms are going to have to be able to stand up on the road. One good thing about Monroe, we have scored runs there. I know the hitters like hitting there. The ball does travel a little bit at that ballpark. So hopefully, that'll help us. But Monroe can pitch. They're right behind us in ERA. And they do have 35 home runs. So defensively, they're down towards the bottom. A lot of people that are at the bottom of the conference, if you look, they either don't pitch or they're poor defensively. Those 2 things, and that's what South Al does such a good job of. They pitch and play defense so good, and they grind out at bats on you. Don't know. We'll talk as coaches like we always do late this afternoon, and we might do like we've been doing on Tuesdays, keep that bullpen working. But we'll see. We'll talk as coaches later this afternoon and make that decision.
How important would it be? I know we want you guys to keep pitching like they are, but
yeah.
How important would it be to get somebody like Greg Davis or Nick Thurman going after they've been struggling?
Well, I mean, we don't need a lot. I mean, the big thing that we really need is just to be good. Answer the bell when it rings. There's an old saying that you want to have your best at bat at the most critical time of the game. We're not asking them to be 4 for 4. We're just saying, hey, be good when the bell rings. Answer the bell. And when you don't get timely hitting, it becomes frustrating because you have chances to win. The positive side of it is that we put ourselves in a position to win all weekend, and that's good, especially with a team that lost so much and lost so much pitching and lost so much of everything. To have put yourself in a position all weekend with supposedly one of the better teams in the league that's running out all senior and junior arms, we're battling you with freshman arms, and we were right there the whole time. I mean, just one critical hit here or there, we could sweep them, and then of course one critical hit that we didn't get, we could have got swept. So it was on a razor's edge because both teams, I think, pitched all weekend and played defense all weekend. So now it all came down to just one thing: who's going to get the timely hit. In the first 2 days they got it, we got it in the 3rd day. So, but to answer your question, yeah, we need him because Greg can not only be a good hitter, but he's a physical hitter. I mean, we could have broke that game open many a times. And defensively, out of credit to them, they took away a bunch of extra base hits and took away a lot of hits. So you got to give them credit, and that's the premium on defense right there. Yes. We're going to bullpen him the rest of the way and keep running his pitch counts up, and then possibly now we'll have him ready for the conference tournament. Yeah, he looked good the other day. He looked good in every piece all the way up, in all of his flat grounds, his short box, his bullpens, and then the other day he threw against hitters, and he looked good. So he looked really good the other day. In fact, that's the best I've seen him, to be honest with you. So he was 93 to 94. And with some sink and some run and some movement, and he didn't feel anything in his groin at all. He had to make a tough play off to the right of the mound that he made, which was one of my fears, getting off the mound with that. But did everything easy and looked really good. So that's going to help us help us out of the bullpen, and it's going to help us into the conference tournament too.
This timely hitting thing, is that something you can work on, or is this just kind of where the percentages play out? Or?
It's just it's a matter of just getting it done at the time you got to get it done, and it's a tough thing to practice. If any coach tells you that they work every day on timely hitting, I'd be shocked. It's a tough thing to work on. Some people have great knacks for it. The Conrads. I mean, Jace was like that. Some guys have knacks to come up big when it's time to play big. And then sometimes you just press. One good thing is through the weekend we did have a lot of quality at bats. I mean, we hit the ball hard. They just made some nice plays. But now the things you can work on, we work on the guy 90 feet away, with no outs or whatever, being able to get him in. Kyle had a chance to do that to tie the game. He didn't do it. So that's a high percentage play right there. Driving in a run from second base is surely a tougher percentage on you than getting a guy in from 90 feet away. Getting a guy from 90 feet away, you can make an out and still do the job. But runners at second and trying to get that guy in from second, you can't make an out and do a job. It literally takes a hit. So that becomes tougher to practice. But you just want a quality at bat in that situation. And again, we had some quality at bats. We just didn't get the right hit at the right time, and because of that, they did. And I don't think that's a timing issue. I just think they grind out at bats, and theirs found some holes and rolled through. One of them rolled down the line and just hit the bag. That's the game of baseball. Same thing at the end of the game on Sunday. They hit a ball down the right field line over our right fielder's head that could have fell fair. If it does, they tie the ball game on us with that runner from third, but it went foul. So the old adage of, baseball's a game of inches is true. Didn't take much that night when that ball rolled down the line to hit that bag to get a run in. And when you're going good, things usually fall your way that way, and then when you're struggling, you'll hit a ball in the nose, and all of a sudden somebody will make a good catch. That's just the way the game is. You got to just keep grinding it out. And I thought we did a good job of that. They could have felt sorry for themselves after 2 losses and cashed it in. They didn't. Wyatt came back and pitched well. We continued to play good defense, and then we finally got a timing base hit off the bench with Bryn. So it's just something that you gotta work through and keep being mentally tough enough to handle and keep wanting that situation. And I think we got the guys are old enough down there to do it. The good thing for us, in my opinion, it's tough to fix freshman pitching if it's broke. It's just tough. They need time. But the good thing about it is that's not what our Achilles heel is right now. It's just the bottom of our order. And we have older guys there. So I really think that, these guys understand the urgency and understand. It's not that they don't want to. I think hopefully they're old enough to work through it.
You talked about how the guys sucked it up on Sunday. They could have laid down.
Mm-hmm.
I know you wanted to do better for the weekend. But that dramatic win yesterday might be something to really get things going right here at the very end.
Oh, no doubt. Again, like I said, when we looked at going into this season, in any given night, we had 8 pro baseball players on the field last year. 8 pros. And when you lose 6 of those in your hitting lineup, and we have a unique sport, people take our juniors. Just think for a minute if Austin and Baronick stay their senior year, okay? I got Austin on Friday and Baronick on Saturday this weekend, and then you've got all these freshmen pitching in the middle of the week and the bullpen we could build. And we'd have strengths behind the plate, Jace at second, Adams in left, and Harrison in center. We wouldn't be talking about no 1 and 2 weekend. I can tell you that. But having said that, and being what we have and losing so much of what we have, going out there and being able to compete, with having lost 500 innings pitched from a pitching staff, and to know that we had a chance to win really all 3 games, I'm proud of those guys. You're right, they could have cashed it in. They could have cashed in at the end of the first weekend when they saw those freshmen give up so many runs, but they didn't. They put themselves in a position to actually win a championship, man. And that's I'd take that. The year we got back after Omaha, in 2000, the next year with 24 and something, and I don't think we made our conference tournament, trying to recover from losing 7 guys to the draft. Well, this year we lost 8 guys to the draft, and 6 of those guys were juniors. And people don't realize, how much sweat equity goes into training a freshman, and then when he finally gets to his junior year, he's ready to go for you, and then boom, they take those guys from us. And you start all over again. And to be able to put ourselves in a position to win a championship this weekend, I thought was really good. Again, I give a lot of credit to BT and a couple of these older guys, because they could have wrote this off as, man, this will be a rebuilding year, and they've stayed away from that. And with 6 games left in the season, you know, counting this weekend, the 6 conference games going into this weekend, last weekend, you got a chance to win a championship. And I give them a lot of credit for that. And they grinded out Sunday. And so that hopefully will help us, because we still got some season left. It's not over for us. They didn't want a rebuilding year, and I don't think they're going to sit back and you know, grasp at that as their excuse. I think they're going to continue to grind this out.
You said Fontenot's getting some work in.
Mm-hmm.
I know he really had some issues at second base.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think was behind that? Do you think this might be?
Well, he's a freshman.
Yeah.
End of story. He's a freshman. So that's what freshmen do. We're just fortunate that you're seeing what you're seeing out of all those freshman pitchers, because freshmen take time. They get out there, the game's too fast. I've had this with an infielder one time, Jeff Grimion at McNeese. He was an infielder for me and played a lot like that, where the game was fast. We got together in coaches and said, let's move him as further away from the ball as we can, which is the outfield. And Jeff went on to be the Southland Conference Player of the Year. So sometimes you back somebody out a little bit, you know. He's athletic. Shortstops, look at Joe Robbins. I mean, Joe backed out of the infield and became a very good center fielder for us. So watching him in left field, I believe the guy can play the outfield. That's what's good about recruiting shortstops, is that they're movable. And I think he's further from the ball. And I think that calms him a little bit, because the guy can hit. I mean, I know he can. He got a little overmatched early at second base, and lost a little bit of confidence fielding-wise. And that's what freshmen do from time to time. But he believes he can hit. He has lost no confidence there. And he's gotten confidence back. I think we could put him back in the infield with no problem, but that's not where our issue is. Our issue really is finding somebody, one more outfielder, one more hitter at the bottom of the order that can not just pinch hit, but yet could stay in the game and get 4 to 5 at bats. So that's kind of why we moved him out to left field. And right now he's been looking good in the outfield.
Stephen, obviously a big product from LSU. He's been a big help this year. What are your thoughts on Stephen Sinsley and getting players from that program?
Well, you know, Jeff runs a real hard program, which is good. If you look at Stephen, he's a grinder. He'll grind it out, and that's why I think he's been successful. He's a guy that, without the labrum surgery, he's another junior that we could lose, which would really be a tragedy for us, because I said it in the middle of the year, the minute we can get him in the infield, you'll see our defense get better, and the minute I get him in the infield, our errors will go down. And go back and look at our errors since he's been in the infield. And go back and look at BT's errors since he's been in the infield. They've gone down. So we hope that we do not lose him to the draft. And Sinsley, you know, he hit his 17th home run the other day. You know, 3 home runs in one game. He'll be in the 20s in home runs before this is over with that bat. So, you know, I watched him the other night come here and play and hit a ball straightaway center field, halfway up the flagpole, and another one over the pine trees in right field. So, you know, the scouts are all over him. So it's one of those things. We have a unique sport, man. We kill ourselves in recruiting. I mean, Jeremy's going to put in maybe 600 miles today in one day. That's XM radio and a dip of tobacco. But we put in a lot amount of time and work and effort in recruiting to have our players re-recruited. And that's the tiring thing about our business, is that you finally got a guy that can come in here that's got 17 home runs, and yet somebody might take him. They might take our catcher that's playing today from the playoff game. He's been drafted. He's going to be drafted. They could take our 2 pitchers that we got coming in. They're both going to be drafted. And then you sit here next year, and I got to face you, and you're going to ask me, wonder why we're struggling. And it's a tough business to try to get your juniors to stay, and then your incoming players to stay. People think I'm off during the summer. People think baseball coaches enjoy their summer. My summer's pitiful. I mean, it's pitiful. All the way till the opening day of classes. We have no summer as a baseball coach. I told you, I left my wife in Cracker Barrel on vacation last year in Gulf Shores for 2.5 hours while I sat in the parking lot in the rain trying to talk a guy out of not signing pro. So even though I lost him, I got it an hour and a half later when she got back in the truck. So I got it twice. I lost a player and lost my rear end. But our summer's bad. I mean, I'm supposedly on vacation, and you're in the truck in the rain for 2.5 hours on the phone trying to get a kid to show up. So we're going to go in the keep mode here pretty soon, because not only are we fighting to finish this season, but then we're going to hit this draft on June 8th, and then we're going to have to go to fight mode for the next 30 days and trying to keep all these guys here. So, but Jeff's kids play hard. They work hard. The Meek over there at LSUE don't stay very long, so what's good is when you get one of his players, you know, you don't have Mickey Mouse. I mean, you're going to get a guy that's going to be tough and wants to play. So that's what I love about Jeff's kids. Congratulations to Mike and the girls hosting. Great job. Anything else?
We're in Gulf Shores.
Huh?
We're in Gulf Shores.
I was in Gulf Shores, but I just don't know if I can call that vacation.
Thanks, Coach.
All right.